Hello, everybody. It's the final race of the GT3 Cup, the final race of the GT Driver career of the World Series, and also the final official stream here in 2025. So today it was Spec 3 update day, and we got a lot of multiplayer features. So I'm quite happy. A lot of things that would help going forward, organizing leagues and stuff, making life a little bit easier. So that's good to see, definitely. So let's get back to our event. It's the final round. See the season overview, 7 rounds in, round 8 at Le Mans. It is today for the finale in the GT3 Cup. It's the championship standings. Oscar in the lead with 2 wins in a row. Now it's 35 points lead over Beetlejuice. Still possible for Beetle. And we'll see. For P3, it's quite interesting. Rivers, Luxy, Shelty, and Richie are fighting for that P3 overall spot. So that's the situation for the final race. 60 minutes at Le Mans. We also have 2 guest starters today because they couldn't resist. There's a new car, the Ferrari 296 GT3. So let's give them the opportunity to go in that car. That is Lemony Squeeze and ART Owen Dalton 84. So watch out for those 2 in that new Ferrari running. So we also have a little neat feature like this. We have car specs now in the lobby. You can see what people are running, power, weight, performance points, which drivetrain area and aspiration. So nice little things in the lobby. We don't need it. We're running on BOP here, of course, in this series. Still, the drivers can adjust the downforce settings. And with that being said, we are starting the qualifying session. There's also a new option in the lobbies, so we can now have different settings for the slipstream for race and qualifying. Hey, and so I went for no slipstream strength in qualifying today at Le Mans. We'll see how that goes. Exploring stuff. Alright. So, haven't touched upon the weather. It will be cloudy and probably sunny for the final minutes, but no rain, so yet it's quite a big disappointment, to be honest. I based the entire cup on real-life weather forecast, and we had like 5 out of the 8 races in the game with potential rain, and nope, the forecast told us no rain for you. Mostly so, it will be a dry race again. Yeah, nevertheless, would be an interesting race at Le Mans. The long straights, some chicanes on the straight today, then heavy braking zones at the end of the Mulsanne, some technical flowing sections. So yeah, I think a nice track to finish the season. So Oscar in the lead in his Corvette, and yeah, Dalton in that Ferrari 296 with Dashi in the VW Beetle, followed by Blasi in a purple AMG. Shelty running the Alfa Romeo 4C Group 3 variant, River in the Lexus RCF, and we have Lemony in that second Ferrari on the grid today. He racing in his Porsche 911. Richie back in the Nissan GTR Nismo, Slugsy in the Toyota Supra car, and Beetlejuice in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3 car. So these are your 11 drivers for the season finale. As always, the qualifying 10 minutes. It will be tires times 1, fuel times 1, 30 liters initial fuel. And then it's a long out lap. Of course, you had Le Mans, so you know about the exact lap times, but around about 4 minutes, I guess, sub 4 minutes, just 58s maybe, but I have no clue. It used to be 57s, 58s, something like that in Group 3 in the game. So that's 2 flying laps, I think, for the drivers. And yeah, with the settings, so you're not gaining in the slipstream during the qualifying. So it's like the change that came in today with the update. So I went for that. No silly slipstream battles during qualifying. We'll leave that for the race later. It is alright. Oscar heading into the 4 chicanes. We'll go on board when he starts his first flying lap out of the 4 chicanes. We go. And then he crosses the line, and away we go. Approaching the first braking zone. Little lift needed, maybe? No, it's flat. First kink into the Dunlop chicane. Underneath the arc. Into the right, left, right section. Fast flowing. Nearly touches the grass now. The right-hander, Tete Rouge, crucial. Exit speed for the run onto the Mulsanne straight now. So first time, get a little bit of a breather. But it's the one with the chicanes. So first chicane incoming. It's the Daytona chicane nowadays. Up to third again for the exit, yeah. Accelerating down the straight, approaching the second chicane. Look at the 100 board on the right hand side. Drake. Left, right, left, it is this time. No drama so far. On to the final third of the Mulsanne straight now. Get ready for the Mulsanne corner, you brake at the kink, usually. Down into first gear for rotation, second gear on exit. I reckon, yeah, it is a bit wiggly on the exit. We go into the first straight, flat out section again. And into the next famous part. To Indianapolis. Quite a heavy braking zone. Don't run into the gravel. And now braking for this one of the slowest turns on the track, the Arnage corner. Slow 90-degree right-hander again, that rear. A bit loose. Past the penalty zone. And now you saw the Porsche sign. We are approaching the famous Porsche curves. Now look at the green Astra on the left hand side, that's your reference. Brake a turn, carry the speed. Now this might be flat, the first part, now lift for the second one. Brake down the gear. Back on tone the throttle again, chuck it in to the left hand side, don't cut too much, also don't run too wide on the exit, out of karting we go. Now here's the Maison Blanche, past the pit, entry into the four chicanes, part 1, and coming out, and it will be a sub 4 minute, was cut, just I think 59.0. Dashi the next to come around to be 4 minutes 1. River with a 59.8 and Lemony on top of the leaderboards with a 58.8 currently. So Lazi in the AMG with a 58.7 tops that one. So Lazi P1, Lemony P2, Oscar P3. Then B Racing with a 59.7 in P4. Oh, drops River down to P5. Ooh, big wiggle for Dashi. I think Richie with a 4 minute 0.5 in 6th position. Sluxy in P7 currently with a 4 minute 0.5 as well. Shelty 403, Beetlejuice hasn't completed the lap so far. What will it be? Maybe we'll just be able to get that one lap in. See, we have a 3 minute overrun. Jumps to P4 for now. And Dalton on the out lap as well. No, on the first flying lap. Now, so after the first hot laps, it is Lazi. Ooh, the penalty. So he had purple. Won't be improving on that lap. The Ferrari looking solid, at least on the track. Let's get a bit of on board. See that cockpit in the newest edition in the game. Oh. You also see the car has a working windshield wiper. Nice one. Can Lemony improve? And what about Oscar? P3 currently, top 3 will get some bonus points. That car slidey. And there's a penalty, so no improvement for Lemony coming. What about Oscar? He's heading into the Porsche curves for the second and final time. Half a second up. Ooh, understeered a little bit. Coming out of karting. Let's see. Into the Corvette chicane. If he avoids getting a track limit penalty, this might be pole. A low 58. Mid to low 58. Let's see. Not too much risk. And it's at 58.0 for Oscar. So So Blasny served the penalty, and he won't be improving. Same for Lemony, still carrying that penalty or another one. What could have been? 58-3. He's still on a hot lap. It might be Sluxy. 58, 59. That is P5 for now. Shelty finished. Dalton comes round. Won't be improving. Stays in P10. So I think we're just waiting for Beetlejuice, but I think the time will run out. Not sure if he can complete it. Don't see the overtime. We're 13 minutes in already. Might be lucky. Solid lap. Improvement incoming. P3 it is for Beetle. Right, so I think that is qualifying. Get that off the screen. And we wait for the timer to run tick down and get the graphics onto the screen. You see it on the right hand side. Oscar with another 8 points qualifying. Blasi 5 points for P2 and Beetlejuice 3 for P3. It is. Alright, so as always I need to grab the screenshots for management stuff, and then we see Oscar with 58-0 takes pole position in the Corvette, Blasi in the AMG 58-7 P2, then Beetlejuice and Lemony on that second row, both into the 58s as well. 59s then for Sluxy and B Racing, third row. Row number 4, River also sub 4 minute, and Richie just missing out on that sub 4 in P8. 9th we have Dashi alongside with Shelty and Dalton starting P11. Alrighty. So let's just do that. We're starting soon. 1 hour. You're at Le Mans. Just quickly bring up settings so you see the weather. Cloudy, heavy clouds, a bit lighter clouds, and then a bit sunny conditions towards the end of the race. We're still running in late morning. So you see the start time area times 3, fuel consumption times 2. And all that other good stuff as well. So no mandatory pit stop. Softs and mediums are available. None are mandatory. And it's a grid start with a false start check, as always. With that being said, let's start the final round of the GT3 Cup. Good luck, everybody. And then let's go. Alright, you said mediums all the way, baby. Oh, Dalton is starting on the softs. Everyone else is running on the mediums, here the engine's revving, and it's green. We're off. Corvette as always with a good start. The AMG also not too shabby. Beetlejuice in P3. Remedy that. Oh, what happened? So that 296 not as good off the line as the old 458. And what happened at the back of the grid? There was a gaggle of cars. Okay, so the rear a bit happy in that Ferrari. Dalton struggling in the braking zone with the weight transfer. But after coming out of the first sector, we see the AMG Blasi in the lead. Oscar dropped down to P3. Beetlejuice up to P2 now, the slipstream, and the Corvette is flying, gaining so much time, so much more speed into the first chicane. Single file, Lebanese, Luxy, Ritchie, River, E-Racing, and the Dashi. Might see a little bit of bump drafting down the straight. The two Beetles. Just kidding, but yeah, you see the Beetle pushing his nephew, the Porsche, or the other way around, not sure. But they're getting back into the group. Sluxy, Shelty 1.3, nearly losing that slipstream range. This is one big group, or second for Sluxy holding that penalty. And at the top, we see that Oscar and Beetlejuice, the two drivers fighting for the title. P2, P3 for now, Blasi with a good opening lap so far. But all by himself, and the two cars behind with that toe, dragging that gap down into Indianapolis. We go side by side. A brief moment, Ritchie and River. Opportunity for B Racing, maybe. Got past the German driver, up in position into P7. Dashi trying to follow. Now we see Sluxy serving the penalty. It was a 1 second. But he just lost one position, or maybe it will be another one. Here they come, 2 wide, 3 wide. They're all over Sluxy, left, right, and center. So that 1 second, of course, he carried not enough speed, and someone got sent into the kitty litter. I think that was Ritchie. A little bit of contact heading into the Porsche cars, and always already side by side, so unlucky moment. I'd say it's a racing incident, but yeah, that 3-4 wide for a brief moment because of Sluxy's penalty caused a little bit of chaos in that mid-pack. There's a little gap, of course, now to the other drivers. Top 4 now, a little gap. Ritchie down to P10, drops behind Shelty, 4 seconds in front of Dalton. Shelty is 2 seconds behind Dashi, who's at the end of this 4-car battle group. A bit wide. This could be a penalty coming out of Tete Rouge for the Beetle. He managed just to keep his car within the track limits. Sluxy River and B Racing. And a 2-second gap to Lemony, who is joining the 3-car chase crew. Beetlejuice Oscar and Lemony. We have Lazi in the lead, 1.5. So he will be losing a little bit. Now on that straight to the cars behind, they have a tiny bit of slipstream. Not too much, so it's probably not ideal that the slowest car, by the looks, the Aston Martin is leading that crew. But the Aston, good acceleration, so should the Corvette. But then again, the straight is not long enough to really give a bump, I think, to bring that gap down significantly. It's 1.3 still, so good job Blasi managing his gap. Lemony right behind, 2.4 the gap, and to the next crew with the B Racing, the Sluxy River and Dashi. Porsche looking solid with the chosen aero setup now into Indianapolis. Close. Another penalty for River. So you might have to say goodbye to Sluxy and B and say hello to Dashi again. Yeah, Dashi closing that gap before the Porsche curves. Second to Shelty. 1.2 for River is still inside the toe. It's going to be good news. What about the front runners? Blasi with a good Porsche curve section, 1.8 the gap. Oscar now up to P2. Beetle and Lemony P3, P4. So 3 seconds between P1 and P4. Looks like Ferrari was a bit too much for Dalton today. He said he will take the gamble, see if he can drive the car. So we're down to 1 Ferrari, Lemony P4, B Sluxy and River. River another half a second penalty. No. Dashi as well with that half second. Shelty in 9th and Ritchie P10 at the back of the grid. 9 minutes and a bit in. 15 minutes and 40 seconds to go here for round 8, the season finale in the GT3 Cup. At this stage, it's my usual guess the strategy. segment. So 10 minutes in, quarter of a tank is gone. Tires, the mediums, yeah, it's 10% maybe. So this will be more about the fuel. I think so. It's pretty sure it should be a one-stop for all drivers with that long pit loss. Can you get it to roughly 40 minutes again, that fuel? If that's the case, then it could be a medium to soft. If not, then it's medium. Pretty sure. Blasi, a little bit of a mistake. And Oscar scored up 6/10 and going down. No worries for now for Blasi heading into the Portugals and opening up the gap a little bit. Gain the 10th. Strong exit through the Corvette chicane into the 4 chicanes now. And nearly 2 seconds now between Oscar and Beetle. The penalties, I think, could decide once again the end, so avoid those track limit penalties. That's the goal. Beetle and Lemony P3, P4. He racing with a good run, keeps it at 2 seconds before 1.7. Has opened up the gap to Sluxy to 7/8 tenths for now. Might be losing some of it when he's coming onto the straight. But for now, nearly a second. That's a good first sector, yeah, purple. About 2 seconds, and Dashi lost contact, runs wide, lifts off, but probably that was too wide. Yeah, half a second. Oh, what happened to Shelty? Or 15.1, and a penalty as well. So this looked a bit, I don't know, sketchy. Maybe we are having some issues. We don't know. Now, Levely got past on Beetlejuice. Oh, this time it's the other way around. Pump dropping. And we see that lag of Porsche not too far behind. Racing, good run if he can get into the slipstream range. This would be crucial for him. Yeah, definitely not losing behind the 2. Let's have a look. 1.6 the gap, and Beetlejuice with half a second penalty. The B Racing is coming for you, and Sluxy as well. 7/10 is still in that gap. In 6th. to 2 seconds again. Oh, that teamwork for now seems to be working. How much time will Beetle lose? Now coming out of Anache and then into the penalty zone. 1.5 will bring B-Racing into the slipstream range, no doubt about it. It's half a second, roughly, for the Porsche curves. No, it's 8/10. Yeah. Still closer than before. Still close, I'd say. The end of lap 4, and we have Blasi in the lead. Second, roughly to Oscar. P2, then 2 seconds to Lemedy, another roughly 2 seconds to Beetlejuice. Now I'm B-Racing right behind. Or maybe Beetlejuice, B-Racing and Sluxy can work together. Ooh, Sluxy. That was too much. Lost a rear on the curb, so that's unlucky. Richie got past Dashi and up to P8 after a lap 1 incident into the Porsche curves. Dashi in P9 and Shelty had a moment in lap 3. P10 for now, or maybe a fuel saving strategy incoming. We'll see. That purple AMG really doing well so far. Basically leading since Tete Rouge lap 1. Can keep Oscar at this roughly 1 to 1.5 second distance. Well, what's Lemony up to? There's no one to work with at this stage. He's outside of the slipstream, and maybe Beetlejuice and B-Racing will close that gap, so to make it a 3-car chase group again. Ooh, another penalty. And he's not the only one. River as well. What happened to Beetle? I just heard some weird noises. Oh, that looked like a massive wheel issue. Hardware going nuts. So I think that was a wheel disconnect. Pretty sure. You see suddenly that car turned right on the straight without any reason. So that is unlucky, and that's probably the championship hopes gone for Beetle. He would have needed a minor miracle already, with Oscar leading by 35 points in this race. So, and also Oscar putting that car on pole. Nearly impossible, but still you don't want to see such things happening, of course. Alright, go on to the softs for the remainder of the race. This could be the strategy if you look in. Very similar. Ooh, where is Sluxy going? Takes an interesting line and loses that position to River. And gets himself another half a second on top, so it's 1 second. If Richie keeps it clean, he might pick up some of the pieces in front and get a better result. Especially now found his groove, his rhythm in P8. That might be the explanation on it, yeah. Oil leakage on that Ferrari. So, good thing is, the Aston is running again, but 38 seconds not with a gap. We see that for 36 last lap. Yeah, that's basically the gap. Now he was well within that fight for a win. Do we see an attack now? Oscar versus Blasi. Looks like a little bit of slipstream and bump draft. At least for a brief moment. I think it's still a bit too early to really go for it. But they have a nice little gap to Lemony in P3, 3.5 seconds. Another 5 to be racing, who got caught out with that Beetlejuice incident. Up to P4 though. And we see Sluxy and River working together. For the time being at least. 2.5 the gap to the Porsche in P4. It's a 1 second penalty for Sluxy. We'll probably lose him 2 seconds. So we'll have an eye on that gap to Richie. From 4 down to, well, let's wait. Even more than 2. 2.5, roughly 2.4 seconds, a 1 second penalty, and Richie suddenly has received a little gift. Some slipstream help. But what can Beetlejuice do now? Can he save that race somehow? I think the strategy is very limited with that one stop. Cannot save that much fuel here at Le Mans with the long straights without losing too much time. So I guess he just has to push as hard as he can. So he will have someone to work with in Shelty very soon. Oh, and the lead change. The yellow Corvette leading the race, as we have seen so many times already throughout this GT3 Cup season. But nice to see the AMG competing today. Not the ideal chicane for Oscar. So what's it gonna be? Ozzy wants to lead, by the looks of it. Getting back into the lead position for the next braking zone. It is AMG 1, Corvette 2. Lemony again stays at 3.45, something like that. Lovely B in P4. Under 5 seconds that gap, so a little mistake. We see how much time it will cost. Another 1 second penalty for Sluxy. Oh no. So you will lose that position to Richie. During this lap. I'm really sure. What about River Ruckus in P5? That Lexus is a quick car, but is a bit of in disadvantage with the tire wear compared to the other cars. So that's why River was mainly limited to medium runs. Couldn't really use the softs. Not sure if it's like possible today. It's 27 minutes in. Maybe. So yeah, Sluxy serving the penalty now, and Richie says thank you. Up into P6. Oh, hello, Shelty. Where are you going? He's playing hide and seek. Oh. And he left us, and oh, we can't see it anymore. So, not sure. Also, didn't look like that good. Oh, an early pit stop for Blasi. That's unexpected, to be honest. Trying to go for an undercut, and it's definitely medium. So okay, more drivers are in now going, and definitely for the medium. So will it be Oscar with a medium soft strategy once again to spoil it for everyone else? We saw it a couple of times that Oscar just was able to manage mediums and softs. And for this race, and gave him the upper hand. So that is Oscar, Lemony, B Racing 1, 2, 3, Sluxy P4, Dashi in 5th, Beetlejuice P6, haven't pitted yet. Then it is Blasi with the undercut on fresh mediums on the outlap P7, and we see the difference. So with taking on fuel, 38 seconds. River is on fresh mediums as well, and Richie also. So Blasi, River, and Richie on fresh mediums. The other drivers still running on that starting tire compound for now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Oscar going for medium softs again. Tire situation not too shabby, just above 50%. Fuel 24-25 liters remaining. I think he's on track. Ferrari struggling with the tire wear now. The rear left tire, the one with the most wear. B Racing, it's Porsche, looking quite good, probably the same wear as Oscar's Corvette, but his fuel not as good. But Luxy, fuel really good in its Supra. Tires also similar to Oscar, I'd say, before, so maybe also someone to watch for a medium soft strat. Just stay with the leaders to see if they just went for one more overcut. Medium would be the safe option. Yeah, and it's in for Oscar, so it looks like play it safe. Lamini stayed out. Okay, I didn't expect that, to be honest, looking at the tires. E-Racing also staying out. Slugsy through the 4 chicanes. One more on those mediums. Dashy. Will he pit this lap? Oh, also running for a bit longer. Another one Beetlejuice coming in now. End of lap 8. Blasi with a little bit of damage. And it's a race between Blasi and Oscar again. So fresh tires for Blasi with a little bit of damage. Oscar less fuel. Coming out of the pit lane. They will be side by side. And Blasi just gets past before the Dunlop chicane. Both now on their second set of mediums. A slight advantage for Oscar. Brand new mediums now on the outlap. So neither the undercut nor overcut really made a huge difference. They're back together, less than a second separating those two. Beetlejuice out mediums as expected. The way for the softs is too long. I see red everywhere. I red car, I red penalty, red fuel indicator, red tires, red sector times. So everything is red currently. We are looking at the fuel, so it's, yeah, probably the 40 minutes would have been a stretch as well. Fuel for B Racing is also getting lower. Well, Slugsy definitely in a position to extend that medium stint to go on to softs. for the remainder of this race. Dashy's fuel coming out as well, the tire wear also. Let's see, Blasi has a bit more fuel compared to Oscar, but I don't think that will be a factor for the rest of this race. Maybe that one lap fresher tires will be key to success for Oscar. Getting a good run. Probably not enough to go for a move into the Portuguese. Now the taking middle of the road approach. Lemony in. Yeah, it's too long for softs, pretty sure. E-Racing is in as well with the fuel. So this means Sluxy into the lead. Lastly up to P2, Oscar P3. 20 seconds the gap to Sluxy, who is still running. And yeah, tires looking okay, fuel looking okay. So I think he will be pitting at the end of this lap and then switch over to the softs. Lastly, Oscar River P4 winning stage before Lemony going on to softs. He doesn't care about 22 minutes and maybe even more, depending on when the final lap actually starts. Second penalty for B Racing. He was a naughty boy, cut pit entry or exit. But it is unfortunate because the 3 second will probably lose you more than 5 seconds. Lemony right behind River now. Will he give him a push? Nope. I think River moved out of the way. Hoping maybe to stay with Lemony for a little while. Another second gained for Blasi on Sluxy on this lap. Blasi definitely pushing. Problem for both of them. "19 seconds coming down. Another track limit for the Lexus. E-Racing, he knows the 3 seconds he has to serve, and Richie just 2.3 behind. He will lose that position. Dashy in 8th. And Beetlejuice 2.5 seconds behind, so doing damage limitation. Stay with slugs for the Porsche curves and the pit entry. In this lap 19 seconds, so didn't lose any time. But now through the Porsche curves, maybe the tires not in the best shape anymore. But keeping it steady and smooth. So he made it for 40 minutes and 30 seconds on those mediums, and the fuel lost half a second through the Porsche curves. There we go with Blasi and Oscar. So Blasi will get back into the lead. But Oscar is really close. And it was really close for a new fastest lap. 40.9 for Oscar. 49.17 currently fastest lap, held by Lamini. On the soft, so this lap could be an attempt for the fastest lap. Sluxy coming out of the pits, just loses that position to Richie, who got past E-Racing, but the gap is not that big, to be honest. So B, Sluxy and Richie in a fight for P5. Sluxy is on the soft tires. Ooh, Richie with a big moment. And says hello to Barry before Tetra Rouge, getting dirty tires and losing an awful ton of time and all the momentum. Another unlucky moment for sure. Just spotted something, but no, it wasn't that close. It looked like they were going for it in the distance, but it's 6, 7 tenths the gap for now on the straight. Under 12 seconds to Lamini in P3. River in 4th. Sluxy might be catching. Yeah. P4 is not guaranteed for River. Let's say E-Racing in 6th, and we saw Richie with that mistake, and on top gets half a second. P7. Dashi in 8th, also with a penalty, and Beetlejuice into slipstream range, gets a little bit of toe on the straight. Will probably overtake Dashi very soon. So getting into the final quarter of this race, and now we see better run for Oscar coming out of Ulsan corner and gets his nose in front just before braking zone for Indianapolis. I also think this is, I don't know, but I cannot really tell who has like the better chances. It's a back and forth between, well, let's see if Lamini is on a purple lap. I see sector 4 down 2.5 tenths, but also some personal bests currently. It could be close. Maybe the Porsche curves on soft tires will make the difference on this lap. 8 tenths now. That is, I must say, I didn't see the first 2 sectors. So yeah, 8 tenths up. Maybe a sub 4 minute is possible. quiet. 4, 3, lost a little bit. That final couple of turns. Still a good, but P-Racing with a 4-minute 2.71 steals the fastest lap on medium. No, P-Racing is on softs as well. Oh, didn't see that. It's also a bit of a stretch, I think, for B on those softs, but he has the fastest lap of the race so far. Slugsy also with a good run. Second to River in front will get a nice little toe and a 7/10 up. Did he keep it? Nope. Inside the track limits, just a little bit too wide. Still uses that extra momentum to bring down the gap. Even with that penalty, this might be a new fastest lap. Let's see, he's not waiting. He's going for it. Four seconds roughly to Lemony in front, who also has a small penalty, and tire advantage for Slugsy in the Supra. We see the battle continuing between Blasi and Oscar. Blasi with a half-second penalty. To stay close. He doesn't want to lose the slipstream at any cost. They go side by side into Indianapolis. Ooh. That is a risky move when Blasi making sure he will be within slipstream when he's serving the penalty. Nevertheless, Oscar goes back into the lead. A second roughly, I think, between the two. Lemony serving the penalty, Slugsy serving the penalty. River with the opportunity. It's 1.2, probably won't be enough. Will stay with the Slugs. Even with that penalty, still probably close to a new fastest lap of the race. Still up, 7/10. Look at that. Will be the first sub 4 minute. Also Lemony on a sector 6 wasn't good enough. 1.5 down. So this won't be an improvement. Slugsy blown it out of ID 4 chicanes, and it's at 59.7 for Slugsy. River in 5th position, under a second. Racing lost contact. Previous lap 4:09. Nearly 9 seconds slower than his previous lap. Richie says hello. Maybe can get a little bit of an assist down the straights. This is where he struggled last time. And not as committed as B Racing, and that gap goes up again. Oscar opening up the gap himself, 1.3 now. Less than 10 minutes to go. Another penalty for Blasi, so he will be losing that slipstream. Lemony's tires are fading, they are melting, and also sun is coming out. The track is getting warmer as well, not helping those tires. Slugsy with a good chance for a podium finish today. 2 seconds the gap to the Ferrari in P3. And I'm more concerned about the tire wear. And the traction out of the slower turns. Bit of a problem now. Rear tires, the problematic ones. So Slugsy already into slipstream range skating. Now for the run into Indianapolis. 1.2. That half-second penalty might even see Lemony losing that P3 on this lap. It's the second currently. This could be close. Half a second served. Slugsy with no penalty and gets the run. Goes side by side and gets past up into P3 for the Supra. Purple, not by much, still on a good lap. There's 2 laps to go. Will those tires last? That's the question. River ran the penalty. That is also a story, this race. And what is going on with Richie? 404. He was close to B Racing. Now 4 seconds again. Beetlejuice, steady race. Comeback P8 for now. Dashi in 9th. So 8.5 seconds to gap to Richie. Another 3.6 and to B. 8 seconds to River with that penalty. Lemony is 1.2 now and Supra creeping away on the straight. 1.3. And Blasi, it's 3.2 seconds now and a 1 second penalty. So it looks like Oscar again. So 3.3 plus another 2 seconds maybe by the end of the lap. Promising. Slugsy D3, that gap to Lemony up to 1.6. So if, I don't know, the rear tires, this could be pain, and I'm just quoting Zach from the stream chat, pain, it is pain to drive that car. So 3.4 seconds the gap to River, who's on the mediums, has no issues with his tires. That Ferrari is struggling big time now, and it needs to do this lap plus one more. So could be tricky. Richie with a penalty. He won't be catching, be racing with that. 3.7 now, and Blasi now through the penalty zone, and that gap is going up. 5.5, maybe up to 6, close to it. It is 6. And with just over 3 minutes, it will be soon the final lap. Is it? So for the penultimate time through the 4 chicanes, and then it's 2:50 on the board. Oscar starting the final lap of the race, 60 seconds. Then 2 Blasi in the AMG. Sluxy in third, 3 seconds the gap to Lemony in the 296 P4. 4 seconds to River in the Lexus RCF. Another 6.5 to be racing in the Porsche 911. Same gap for Richie in the Nissan GTR P7. Beetlejuice bringing that gap down 5 seconds roughly, starting the final lap, and Dashi as well coming around with 2 minutes to go, and everyone is on. Everyone is on the final lap. I think Blasi struggling with fuel a little bit. Sluxy is pushing. 7.5. You not an issue. Tires as well. .3 River gained roughly a second. Now it is won't get any easier for Lemony in the, especially the braking zones, the acceleration zones. The tires are gone on the rear. I think especially Indianapolis Arch and the Porsche curves could be a big challenge in that Ferrari. Richie half second. The Juice is pushing under 4 seconds. No, and Oscar at the end of the Mulsanne straight. 6.2. So he's managing this race now. Sluxy gained another second, and so did River, 2 seconds. Under 2. And the rear left is gone. With that tire has given up. Emergency pit stop. Now you can do it. Oh, let's see. Whoa! Drifto into Indianapolis, but don't think Lemony can defend it now. The rear is just too loose, and River, oh, is pushing. They go side by side for the run into the Porsche curves, forcing Lemony narrow, and Lemony not fighting it, so River up by position. P4. No, Lemony is still on the inside, but has to back out of it. And let's go to Oscar, dominating the final third of the GT3 Cup. 3 wins in a row. And he's the GT3 Cup champion. Well done, Blasi, with a good race. Comeback race after a short break. P2 is Luxy on the podium. P3 it is River, and P4 in the Lexus. Lemony, oh, going sideways all over the place. Can he keep P5 at least, or it's speed racing? It's a second. Just brings it home. P5. B racing in 6th. Richie, it was close between Richie and Beetlejuice, but Richie keeps P7, Beetlejuice P8, and Dashi will finish in the Beetle in P9. Cuts a little bit of the chicane. And it's a P9 and for Dashi. Alright. So we're gonna save that replay. Let's have a look at the race results. Graphics Oscar with the 3rd win in a row, securing the championship. Blasi in the AMG, E2 and Sluxy in the Toyota Supra. On the podium and the fastest lap as well, the only driver hit a 59. That's a bit. The River P4, Lemony struggling in that Ferrari. E5 on that tires. Racing P6 and the Porsche, Richie 7th and the GTR. Beetlejuice after that. Weird moment throughout the race, looks like a real disconnect happened. P8. Dashi in 9th, and then 2 DNFs for Dalton and Shelty. So that is the end of the season, the GT3 Cup. Now it's come to an end. So did the entire GT driver career in 2025, our theme for the World Series. Yeah, and also the final official stream here on the CLR channel for this year. So yeah, it's a little break now, and we'll come back in January. January, that's how to pronounce it. For the new seasons, we have TEC season 18 starting in January. We have the successor to the GT driver career planned. It's the Formula driver career. So we're going from go-karts to some Radicals and Red Bull X Juniors to some Super Formulas. That's at least the idea for Thursday's main events throughout the season. Then we have some special series sitting in between, like the Rising Stars is planned. And yeah, we'll see how many of those will be running. We'll keep an eye on the Discord, see some of the events and leagues being scheduled and advertised very soon. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you then in 2026 for one of our streams, videos, whatever. Until then, take care. Have a good time. See you soon. Bye bye.